Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to a death battle commentary. I am your director here, Liam Swan, and we have with us showrunner Ben Singer.
Oh, that's me?
That's you.
Wow.
That's
Somebody introduced me as a showrunner, not as Wiz for
Yeah,
once.
there you go.
Oh, and the voice of Wiz.
Wow, that's crazy.
A head animator, Luis,
Hello, hello.
and voice of Boomstick, Chad.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
And show
He's the only voice
sprinter.
actor here.
I've done a lot for the show over the years, okay? It's okay.
And we're here doing a commentary for DIO Alucard versus each other. And this is an episode that I've been looking forward to working on for a while.
Since the conception of Death Battle.
Well, yeah, it's kind of around there, TBH. Closer to that than now. And
Sure.
yeah, this was a blast to work on.
We knew we were going to do this episode as far back as last year when we hinted at it.
Yeah.
And I believe our werewolf episode,
Yeah,
right?
Sabra Wolf
I don't remember time.
versus Talbot.
Yeah. Sabra Wolf.
Sabra.
And knowing that this is going to be our 10-year anniversary, it was like this is the vampire fight that we know belongs.
Hell
in our
yeah.
10-year anniversary
Yeah.
season.
Never done a vampire fight before this. I mean, we had Dracula, but vampire versus vampire never before. This is the first time.
This one, this one was always had a lot of interest to me because it's like I still haven't watched JoJo, but like I watched and read some of Hellsing, right? Or I watched all of it, but and I was just like, every time we talked about it, I was like, what are you gonna do with like Endgame Alucard, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I brought that up to you, Liam, and you're like, well, let me tell you.
And then the conversation shifted, and then everyone watching was on bated breath for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But Liam, why this matchup for a vampire episode? Like, what's the deal with these characters?
I mean, very simple.
Why do people want to see this?
Very simply, they are the two most popular anime vampires. They're both they both have big reputations. They're very well known and beloved characters. Alucard is well known as a super OP, unbeatable character. That's one of the things that I think keeps Hellsing in the public consciousness, along with Hellsing Abridged, is how broken an anime character Alucard is. And Dio is literally the man of 1,000 memes.
Yeah.
Most of the popular
But
JoJo
it was
memes
me.
are all Dio. Yeah. Re muda muda muda. The steamroller meme predates. I think people saw that the stick figure animation of that before they even know who Dio was or what JoJo's was. And JoJo's got really popular in the last decade or so because they finally
It
made
really
an anime.
has.
Yeah, it's been around since Dragon Ball era, '87, but it only really got popular in the West. Always been popular in Japan.
I
in
first
the
heard
West.
about it because of the fighting games that they had.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
One of the 3 CPS3 Capcom games.
Yep.
That Street Fighter 3 and Redstone, whatever one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the anime is just fantastic to look at.
Yes.
Look at this shit.
Yeah.
It's beautiful looking.
The colors are so experimental and lovely. And when I was working on the
Reminds me of
edit with
Nanbaka.
Gerardo,
I guess Nanbaka took a lot of pages from this whenever I saw that.
yeah,
Anyway.
I really wanted Gerardo to include as many a mix of as much anime and manga panels as possible because I think the manga art is really fantastic, and he did an amazing job with it. And of course we included just about as many
bread.
jokes as possible. So we even get how many breads have you eaten in there,
Oh yeah.
which was not fixed in the colored translation, which I appreciate.
How many breads have you eaten?
Yeah, he's like, how many lives have you sucked dry, you monster? How many breads have you eaten in your life? It's great.
Also, Boomstick now has a stand.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
a stand.
Yeah.
That was one thing I wanted to do.
Nice.
Y'all are getting crazy, man.
I think
getting-
Boomstick's starting to get overpowered. To be honest, Gotta psych me up and more tougher with.
Well, just hang on, because Wiz gets his own thing. By the way, this is one of the most demented, like, subtly demented things I've ever written.
Subtly?
It's just a quiet moment where Boomstick drinks Wiz. It's great. Oh, there it is. Time, huh? There it is. Put it in there. Boomstick was physically assaulted for making that joke. Yeah, but I'm really happy with the rundowns, the way they came out. I went through a bunch of drafts trying to like make it as efficient as possible because these characters have a lot of different powers, and I wanted to make sure that everything about them was represented. So I got, I think, pretty efficient with the like information density in these. It's pretty. I liked it.
So much on screen.
Yes.
Like, so much on camera on screen.
I went
now.
through a bunch of notes with Gerardo just to make this all perfect. I mean, most of this was just he did this like without even me giving direction. I just corrected some of the numbers.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like Nick and Gerardo are now in like a bring comics to life on screen competition.
100%.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just keep upping the game every single moment.
Holy, what is happening?
Yeah, see, like
what is happening?
the comic
I
panels are
haven't
literally
seen this
fighting
edit
each
yet.
other.
This is crazy. Wow, good stuff, Gerardo.
Yeah. And of course, gotta get the
Yeah, way to go, Gerardo. That's way better than Nick did. Sorry, I'm just feeling the fight.
spur on the competition.
Oh my gosh, can we do that? Can we make that a thing? Death battle, edit battle.
Yeah, they're both doing
Gerardo.
such a great job. So it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a very close competition. Oh my god. So what about the? You mentioned that there's so much to cover. It's really dense. Like, was that?
like
a complicated in like the research process.
Dio is a character that like is unique. JoJo's divided into parts, and he's the main villain of parts 1 and 3. There's like a 100-year break where part 2 takes place, and he comes back. So like including his story from both parts 1 and 3 was important because they're both relevant. And with Alucard, there's just a lot to explain in terms of the mechanics of his powers, which we're getting into. I wish Hellsing like had more stuff going on. I mean, I guess it's good that like the mangaka like wrote the story he wanted to make, and then that was it. Like he didn't like drag it on.
It wasn't.
some
Yeah,
franchise.
exactly. Like it was a series. They told the story, and there it was.
It's pretty short. It's less than 100 chapters. It's quite good. The art's also fantastic. It gets better
It's
over
like
time.
I appreciate that, but then I'm also like, oh man, more would have been cool. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
especially with the way you end it, you know. Like
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
man, let's go from here.
Let's see what fucking Schrodinger quantum fuckery Alucard is like.
Exactly.
Right. Like he's technically the same Dracula as Bram Stoker.
Yep,
or
and
related
he's
or
the
something
same
like that?
Dracula as in real life history, and also Bram Stoker's Dracula, and also this Hellsing Alucard. Yep.
Yep.
It's wild. That story goes completely insane by the end there. It's great. Nazi vampires, the Vatican invades London.
Yeah, I
Alucard
feel like
fights all of them
it's
at
very not quite as much because this always started out a little bit darker, but it's kind of like Trigun in a way because he's
Yes,
just like,
yeah.
oh, okay, we're along for this adventure. He's like, this is bounty hunter, and he's helping out this cool British chick, and like they're gonna like fight the forces of the undead, and then like by the end of it, it's just like, but instead he's an immortal being of doom, and it's just like it got so fucking crazy.
Fucking
Rivers of
over
blood.
here, like-
Yeah, literal oceans of blood. I
Full
think
of
somebody on Twitter
souls,
was like,
Crap.
somebody on Twitter was like, so like I know the last Halloween episode was really really gory and bloody. Like, what will this one be like? And I was like, well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like a lot. I wanted to be like, if you've seen Hellsing, then you know it's gonna be a lot. And as we'll see, that is absolutely
That's true. So last year it was a major theme of the werewolf battle was brutality.
Yes.
Make sure
Yeah.
it feels like two monstrous creatures are just tearing at each other. Luis and Liam, was there any sort of similar type of theme going into this?
Yeah,
I feel-
I would say like
Yeah.
that intensity. the anime. It's more of an anime feel in this one, like more like flashy, and where the last one was very brutal and kind of all the action took place in a single alley. Well, this as you'll see, does not.
Yeah, and I think like we went more overboard with the blood stuff. Again, I mean there is the
vampires.
And there's the river of blood as well that we kind of implement into the fight that you'll see later. So like in terms of blood, it's like a lot more gory than that fight. But like I feel like the fight that we did last year is a lot more like brutal, and like it still has like they both have their merits and their like takes on like the whole like brutality sense, I suppose.
There's more like rending of flesh and breaking of bone and like teeth like tearing into bodies brutality in the last one, where this is like there's so much blood because Dio will like punch Alucard and he'll explode into a thing of blood and then reform.
Yeah.
Although we do get a nice little shot of Dio having his mind blown.
Yeah, so maybe not quite as like gory, like I mean still a lot of gore, but it's almost cartoonishly gory in this version.
Not hard to take too seriously. Hard to take seriously at all.
I mean, just looking at Alucard like on screen here, just how crazy this shit gets.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like it's intense, but the violence is definitely. It's not like meant to be like serious, scary. Like, oh fuck, this is so like hard to watch. It's more like this.
Yeah,
it's very like
this dude's a
goth kid. Yeah, like the embodiment of hot topic.
He's like it's like vampire
exactly,
Carmen
like
Sandiego kicking ass. Like.
Yeah.
My God.
That's next year's Halloween match. Alucard versus Carmen Sandiego.
He'll never find it. That's the problem.
Where are you?
He's gotta find her first.
She keeps leaving all these damn clues. I had to go to fucking Italy and then Japan and then like she's never there. Like, so, like just more clues.
Someone stole the Eiffel Tower. I don't know how that happened, but I gotta find it.
Exactly.
I don't even care about it.
I don't give a shit, but it's the only clue I
Is
have.
that a strength feat for Carmen? She lifted the Eiffel Tower.
Carmen Sandiego did actually one of her feats is that she steals a galaxy in one of the games.
Hell yeah.
So there is an argument to be made for galaxy level Carmen
I
Sandiego.
love this.
Just putting that one out there.
All right, well that's gonna be our next Death Metal cast.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh my
There we
god.
go.
Okay, we were just talking
History
about
time.
earlier. Vlad the
It
Impaler.
is a Liam episode. He includes medieval European history.
Yeah.
Hard to avoid.
Well, I mean, when we were going through the script, I'm not as familiar with Helsing as you guys. So when that was revealed, I was like, well, that's gotta be
Yeah, of
included,
course.
because that's fascinating.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't
They
want to
would
have it
include
at the
that,
beginning.
like so directly. And it's not just the fact that like, yeah, he's Dracula, so he's related to Vlad or whatever. It's the fact that he literally turns into Vlad at
Yes.
one point.
Yep. And
Like it is so integral.
that is in the fight because I was like, we need to have him do the whole Vlad thing. That has to be a thing.
Yeah, it's when
I
he
love
gets,
this
like,
edit, by the
unleashed,
way.
right? It's been forever
Yeah.
since I've, yeah.
He goes level 0.
Look at this
Yeah.
cat
Look at this.
boy.
Look at this.
Dog
Look at this
boy,
little.
animal boy.
Yeah, why not
So-
add Schrodinger's cat?
Yeah.
Tee hee hee. Get it?
Oh my god. Okay, so this is why this episode is so long.
Yeah.
Having to explain
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, are we gonna include Schrodinger? I'm like, well, we have to fucking mention it for sure. Like
Yeah.
that's heads will be on spikes if we don't, and for good reason. It's incredibly important.
Somebody tweeted at me, I think today, who was just like, they're not even gonna give him Schrodinger. They're not even talk about it. I was like, here it is.
One of those things is true.
Well, okay, I guess we're gonna have to axe that entire part.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
gone.
kill it.
No more Schrodinger.
Validate that one person who's mad already, even though
We're not doing
it.
the world over heaven, which some people were concerned about. Don't worry, guys. Oh, I love this moment.
It's important to think
Yes,
about it, but not
consider
necessarily
it.
include it, because it's a potential future for Dio, but it's not his actual
Correctamundo.
present.
Yeah, it's a what if Ultron Dio.
Okay.
It's actually
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
exactly
What
what it
ifs?
is.
What
I'm
ifs are
so
still
excited, I
important
haven't seen this yet.
consider, just not necessarily
Yes.
include.
Whoa, look at that.
Look at that! This little car.
This fight is 3D.
I know, it just tricked
God
me.
dang it. Every single time I look at the
down the
3D
toilet.
stuff and then go, oh my gosh, it's sprites. Not again.
Oh, it's sprites.
That was-
might as well turn it
That's
off.
my Shiranui, by the way.
Luis, it looks.
He
Luis,
drew that first shot.
it looks so good.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
shot, that looked amazing.
Yeah, it's just all the posting really took this entire fight to the next level. Basically, it really it makes the episode feel really special. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is how everybody on the animation team was like ecstatic from the beginning of the season to work on this fight. And as soon as they realized who was winning this fight, I think every single animator on the team messaged Liam asking
Yeah.
why does this person win?
What the
And then-
fuck? How is this possible? So I wrote up like this fucking copy pasta. This
Yeah.
That's
this
hilarious.
this massive post. Like, okay, well here's the reasons.
yeah, it's funny
Here
because
goes
like
the steamroller.
yeah, it's funny because right after he sent that to one of our animators, Zach, he messaged
Yeah.
me saying like, he did it. I can't believe he did it. And then everyone just got super excited to work on this fight even more. So we
Oh, look at the blood.
yeah, we try implementing as much of Unreal manipulating environment in this fight. So like you'll see a
Yeah.
lot more shots that like the characters are actually in the Unreal scene, because that's one of the things that we kind of like pick and choose, right? There's some scenes where like we just like render the Unreal background without the characters and would then import it into the animation, and then there's a lot of scenes where we kind of like import the characters into the scene. But yeah, we.
Oh my god, this is nightmarish.
Isn't this great?
So cool.
Isn't this great? Fun
Yeah.
fact: this part of the fight, the conclusion of this fight on the clock tower, was inspired by the Disney movie The Great Mouse Detective.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, dude.
Fighting with the hands
the
of
goat.
the clock.
Yeah, they have a
so
little
good.
clock hand sword fight because they're stopping time.
One of the things that I really like about like specifically about this fight is just like all the crazy elements we had to work with, and like a lot of things that we had to figure out, like the river of blood, the group of zombies being animated at the same time, just off sync and stuff like that. It was just really crazy and a big challenge for us to kind of like get this looking as good as we possibly can. So yeah.
I think they
Dude,
did an amazing job
It's
with
so
it.
good.
There's so much going on. Actually, speaking of Zach, if I recall correctly, Zach did a DBX. Of Alucard
Correct.
DIO a while
Yes.
back, right? And while he was working on that, we knew as far back as then that we would be doing this
Yeah.
episode at some point. And so there was an effort made to make sure that they were completely different like styles
Yes.
of fights.
Yeah.
That DBX is like a more enclosed, kind of like creepy
Yeah.
sort of thing, and this is the one where we could go all out with the crazy.
Because you got it,
powers.
yeah. I know some people were saying, "Oh, I want it to be just like the DBX," and it's like, look, you have the DBX. We need to. It can't be like a really close quarters horror like serious fight. It needs to go ape shit because that's what JoJo and Helsing are.
So
Yeah.
their powers. They got
I
some
also
crazy
loved a little
shit.
the end there. Way to go. Very fun.
exactly.
Yeah, I think we did. We did that last year with like the Rock Lee Sanji fight because it usually says to be continued, as well as like in JoJo. So we tried to kind of like change it to the end. So make sure that people don't go like, oh, there's another fight after that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a note I had about it because I was like, I don't know if that's gonna be confusing.
Yeah.
I know that's the thing, but it might be. a
Yeah,
little
especially with the
confusing.
nature of Alucard's regeneration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
We,
Which is a big thing about like everybody's. I think most people going into this are going to expect.
Yeah.
Alucard
I
to
sure as hell
finish
did.
Because of, as you mentioned before,
yeah.
Alucard is
Yeah.
broken. But surprise, it was.
Yeah, I am. We're recording this, of course, before the episode comes out, so we are cautiously, anxiously waiting for the drop.
yeah.
Oh,
We
man.
are we're still unsure how the community will react to the results, but we are happy with how the episode turned out. So
Absolutely.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, again, like the way these analyses work, we have a big old meeting with researchers and writers and whatnot, and we all got to come to the same conclusion. If there's anybody who is thinks otherwise, like we have to address that. And by the end of it, we were all pretty on board. Like, I was actually kind of surprised at how, despite how complicated this one sounds on paper, it is not one of those matchups where we had to like meet up later to like review all the things and make sure that we're absolutely 100% certain. Like you guys were so good at putting everything together leading into the research meeting and the discussion that there really wasn't anything else we needed to cover to like quadruple check because it was already all there. The Schrodinger thing though was definitely one that I had to like.
That was.
Oh God, we had to show
trying
again.
to really understand. Because holy shit, that gets complicated.
Absolutely.
And we did talk about like multiple different ways of like how we might implement Schrodinger, what we needed to cover, what we didn't need to cover, and at the end of the day, I think the idea was we just need to cover as much as possible because otherwise it's gonna be
Yes,
confusing.
absolutely.
Hence the 22-minute long episode.
Yeah. I said it's the longest episode. I checked. It's the longest episode since Mega Man Battle Royale.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not by a lot.
I'm of the opinion that Death Battle should be under like
Yeah.
18 minutes in order to balance it with a 3 to 4 minute fight correctly. Just to make it
for
feel
sure.
more balanced. But every so often we're gonna need 20 minutes to cover everything.
especially an
there's
episode
some
this
dense
big,
stuff.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean this is one of the most requested matchups we've gotten. There you go.
That was Gerardo's idea.
I didn't know you were doing that.
Thank you so much.
Gerardo was like,
my gosh.
we didn't find a place to put the sound clip of him going Zoardo anywhere in it, so I wanted to put it at the end. And I was like, yeah, cool, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That works. Well, there are just a few more episodes left in the season, the 10-year anniversary season. We've got some surprising and epic fights coming up, so excited to.
And then it's
see
the end
reactions.
of Death Battle. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Then that battle Chippuden starts.
We're gonna have the
Death
time
Battle
skip.
Super coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 years later.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's actually the
right,
good
thanks for
distance
watching,
between
guys.
seasons 8 and season 9. It'll be about 10 year wait. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So just get
See
used
y'all
to
in the next one.
See you guys.
See ya.